This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Results from a special election in our area, and a Ukrainian Catholic Church pastor talks about war in the Lenten season. Hello everyone, I'm Ken Kara and I thank you for watching today. Republican Robert Schnee will represent the 116th Legislative District in Pennsylvania until November 30th. Schnee won a special election on Tuesday to fill out the remainder of former State Representative Tara Toohill's term. Toohill is now a Luzerne County judge. Schnee was serving as a Luzerne County councilman, and he's a former Hazleton area school board member. Homicide charges have now been filed after a shooting that killed a local teen on March 6th. Police say 20-year-old Frangel Garcia Andujar of Freeland fired the shots that killed 17-year-old Stanley Jimson during a fight in Hazleton. 5 teens were shot at a party, and Andujar has been in custody since March 9th, accused of shooting 2 of them. Police now say he shot all 5, only Jimson suffered fatal injuries. Andujar Garcia was denied bail and taken back to Luzerne County Prison. Andujar Garcia says Jimson hit him in the face and denies having a gun, and he says he heard gunshots and left the party. In today's news feature, Lisa Sugar talks with the Reverend Michael Hutsko, pastor of St. Peter and Paul's Ukrainian Catholic Church in Mount Carmel, and the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary Ukrainian Church in Centralia, about the reason for fasting during Lent and much more.
The reality is that fasting is a tool that the church recommends to us in order to discipline ourselves, to see beyond our own needs, to see beyond our own physical needs, our own ego and pride, and to pursue and make room for the presence of God. So when we say fasting, we don't just fast from eating meat or dairy products during the Lenten season. We fast from our desires. We fast from our material pursuits. We let go of them. We push them aside so that we make room for the presence of God in our lives, so that He can then sanctify and make holy our everyday lives, and make holy our earthly pursuits. And while it's fallen out of favor of so many people, I do believe that there is an opportunity to pass this message that it's not a negative tool or task, but that fasting brings us to a place where God is able to speak to our hearts without all of the other distractions that come into our lives.
We went through so much this past few years. We've had the COVID situation, and hopefully that is getting behind us now. And that, do you think maybe that has been a wake-up call for a lot of people, that more people now are wanting to return to church and to do these things?
My experience, and the experience of many of the priests that I've spoken with, is that people have not returned to church in the numbers that we had hoped. My own attendance is less, but I put that in perspective in a sense because we, as church, have found other ways to communicate with people, including live streaming of our services. And while my attendance is not where it was before COVID, I can look and see that there are always a couple 100, 300 people watching the live streaming of Divine Liturgy from here at St. Peter and Paul Church on Saturday afternoons. So I believe that people are experiencing a spiritual revival, but they're experiencing it in a modern and contemporary way through social media, and that's not bad. That's not necessarily good, but it is keeping people in touch with their spiritual needs, and that's a good thing.
Do you think some of them feel, well, I haven't been going to church, so now maybe they feel they shouldn't go back, or they're afraid to go back?
I have an elderly congregation, and they're still fearful of the virus. My hope and expectation is that as we return to normalcy, as we are, that they're going to populate the pews again.
Father, how difficult is it for the people who are in Ukraine dealing with so much to still be able to worship properly, especially during this Lenten season?
It's very challenging and very difficult, and they're very anxious. recently because of the increased attacks in Kyiv especially, but also in other cities throughout Ukraine. There has been fear for our Patriarch Sviatoslav in Kyiv, the head of our Ukrainian Catholic Church, as well as for other bishops in the cities in which there is great fighting, and the priests who are serving the people. And they have received invitations to leave Ukraine, to go to the Vatican, to move to other places in Ukraine. And our Patriarch has told us personally and recently that they are all staying in their dioceses. They are all remaining in their sees. They are remaining to serve the people.
Today's news feature is brought to you by Feisner's Ford in Freeland, who is celebrating 75 years in business. Give them a call at 570-636-3920, or you can log on to feisnersford.com.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
There's a hazardous weather outlook for our area from the National Weather Service. A slow-moving storm system will produce rain across the region through Thursday night. The rain could be heavy at times and cause nuisance flooding around or near smaller rivers and tributaries and flood-prone areas. Here's our full forecast from the National Weather Service on Thursday. A 100% chance of rain before 11 a.m., then showers and a possible thunderstorm after 11 a.m. We'll have a high near 49 degrees. New rainfall amounts between 3/4 and 1 inch possible. On Thursday night, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. It will be mostly cloudy with a low around 40 degrees. New precipitation amounts between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch possible, except higher amounts possible in thunderstorms. On Friday, a 40% chance of showers mainly after 2 p.m. It will be partly sunny with a high near 54 degrees. Wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. On Friday night, a 30% chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a low around 37 degrees. Saturday, we have a 40% chance of showers. It will be mostly cloudy with a high near 48 degrees. On Saturday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 34 degrees. Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 45 degrees, and Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 31 degrees. It's SSPTV Standard Speaker Scoreboard time. The Hazelton area baseball team bounced back from a season-opening loss to beat Crestwood. Brent Tolik and Nick Biazzi hit home runs, and Kyle Peters had 3 RBIs for the Cougars. In the Schuylkill League, Shenandoah Valley beat Monoy area in Division 3 play, and North Schuylkill beat Tamaqua in Division 1. In softball, MMI and Marion put up big offensive numbers in wins. Gina Galeta had 5 RBIs for MMI, and Morgan Kelly struck out 13 batters for Marion. Shenandoah Valley and Monoy area split a doubleheader. Hannah D'Angelo hit for the cycle for the Lady Devils in their win. Morgan Dinger had 2 home runs for North Schuylkill as they beat Tamaqua. MMI swept past Jim Thorpe in boys tennis. Stay tuned for our community and sports features. We'll be right back.
CVCO will have their annual Easter egg hunt on Saturday, April 9th at Whispering Willows Park in Cunningham. Registration for the event is at 9:30 a.m., followed by the egg hunt at 10 a.m. SPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Alvin J. Boot, age 90, of Drifton. The McNulty Funeral Home will announce their arrangements. Donald Lee Cook, age 81, of Drums. The funeral service will be on Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Butler Chapel of the Crofton Hughes Funeral Home. Friends may call on Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. and on Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. at the funeral home. John Henry Jack Gould, age 89, of Wilmington, Delaware. Services will be held in New Jersey. And today we remember Jean Marquez. We have missed you for the past 16 years and will miss you forever. Sending all of our love to you, and Daddy, love your family.
Tonight's obituaries are being brought to you in part by Harmon Funeral Homes and Crematory, with 2 locations in Rockland and in Drums, 570-384-3312 or 570-788-0977, and go to harmonfuneral.com.